A first alert out of Brown County. A group home worker is accused of sexually assaulting a client with cognitive disabilities. 26-year-old Elias Skenendor of Green Bay is charged with 4 counts of second-degree sexual assault by an employee of an entity. The criminal complaint says he had sex with a female resident at the Genuine Hearts home on Elmore Street on 3 different occasions this spring, and later admitted to detectives that he engaged in sexual acts with her multiple times. Prosecutors say the woman has the mental capacity of an 11 or 12-year-old and lives under protective care. Skenendor faces decades in prison if convicted.